So as you've seen in the previous two videos, an engineering drawing describes a 3D object. And it describes that 3D object using projections. And on those projections, we have our dimensions. So to start our drawings, we're going to do a very simplified version. In the bottom right-hand corner of our page, we need to go ahead and create a 2x3 grid so that we can label our drawing with very important information. We have units, project name, scale, the creator name, the date, and the page. Our units are millimeters. Our scale is 1:1. The date is whatever date you created this drawing. So for us, it's 10/17/23, or for me it is. The project name is what you're doing a drawing for. So we're doing this drawing for a glue stick. The creator name is whoever created this project. So you're creating this drawing, so write your name. And then the page. An object can have multiple pages that describes it, so multiple drawings. But for us, we only need one page. So all we're going to write for page is 1/1. Now that we have this information written down, we can go ahead and get started on the main drawing. So to describe our glue stick perfectly, we only need two views or two projections. We need the front, which is a rectangle if we look at our glue stick, and we need the top, which is a perfect circle. Now that we know what views we need to measure, we need to take our glue stick and we need to measure them. So the height of our glue stick, which is from the front, is about 11 centimeters or 110 millimeters. That is what we need to write on our drawing. So we need to remember that number. Next, we need to measure the top, which is the circle. So what we need to do is, again, take our ruler and we need to measure the diameter of the circle. The diameter of the circle is 3 centimeters or 30 millimeters. Now that we know this information, we can put it into our drawing. As you can see, I went ahead and put on the dimensions that we measured from our glue stick. I showed that the height of our front view of our glue stick is 110 millimeters. So I drew a dimension line between the height and wrote the value of it. Then I took the top view, which is a circle, and wrote the diameter. And you can see that I used the correct symbol to show that the 30 millimeters is a diameter measurement. Now the last thing that we need to do is we need to make an isometric or 3D picture of our object in the top right-hand corner. So for us, which is the glue stick, it's a simple 3D object. So just draw a cylinder in the top right-hand corner. All you have to do is do your best, but this is my version of the cylinder, and you can see that it's 3D because of the dotted line at the bottom. Once you've done that, you've created your first drawing. Now we're going to create another drawing. This will require a brand new piece of paper because it's a brand new drawing. We still have to fill in the information, so our units are in millimeters, the scale is 1:1, the date, which is the day you've created this drawing, so for me it's 10/17/23, the project name, which for us is going to be the sunglasses box, the creator name, which is your name, and the page, which again, because we only have one page, it's 1/1. Now that we have this information, we're ready to go ahead and start the drawing. Just like we did with the glue stick, we need to determine which views or projections we need to correctly describe this sunglasses box. As you can see, it looks just like a regular box. And to describe a regular box, what you would do is you would say the length, width, and height. So for this box, the perfect views are again the front view, and the top view. As you can see, I already drew out two rectangles on my drawing to show the front view and the top view. And you can see that the rectangles for the front and top view are not the same. They're not the same because they don't look the same. If you look carefully on the sunglasses box, you see that yes, they're both rectangles, but one is a little bit wider or one's a little bit shorter. So you have to make sure that your views accurately show what is the view on the box, what it looks like. Now that we know which views we are measuring, we can go ahead and measure it on our sunglasses box. So we can see that the length of the front view is 15 centimeters or 150 millimeters. The height of our front view is 50 millimeters. And on our top view, that width is 35 millimeters. Now that we know what our dimensions are, we need to put them on our drawing. So now that we have our measurements, I went ahead and put it on our front view. So I did 150 millimeters across because that's what we measured. Then we measured that the front view was 50 millimeters tall. So I wrote that. And then we did our top view, which was 35 millimeters deep. And these are all straightforward dimensions. So that's why I drew dimensions between them. The last thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and draw the isometric view in the top right-hand corner. So I just drew a 3D image of a cube or rectangular prism because that's what our sunglasses box was. You can see that both views perfectly describe the sunglasses box. We don't need any more dimensions, but anything else is just going to be extra. So just like you would describe a box with a length, width, and height, we did that too. We just labeled them on 2D projections or views of our box.